Hare Krishna, devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. I don't know, Radha Pyari Mataji is online.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm here.
Yeah, please go ahead, Mataji.
Yes, sir. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dhanavad, Pranama, all Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22. Rutu Maharaj's meeting with the four Kumaras. Text 1. The great sage Maitreya said, while the citizens were thus praying to the most powerful King Prudu, the four Kumaras, who were as bright as the sun, arrived on the spot. Text 2. Seeing the glowing effulgence of the four Kumaras, the masters of all mystic power, the king and his associate could recognize them as they descended from the sky. Text 3. Seeing the four Kumaras, Prithu Maharaj was greatly anxious to receive them. Therefore, the king, with all his offers, very hastily got up and anxiously as continued soul whose senses are immediately attracted by the modes of material nature. Text 4. When the great sages accepted their reception according to the instructions of the Shastras and finally took their seats offered by the king. The king, influenced by the glories of the sages, immediately bowed down. Thus he worshipped the four Kumaras. Text 5. After this, the king took the water which had washed the lotus feet of the Kumaras and sprinkled it over his hair. By such respectable action, the king, as an exemplary personality, showed how to receive a spiritually advanced personality. Text 6. The four great sages were elder to Lord Shiva, and when they were seated on the golden throne, they appeared just like fire blazing on an altar. Maharaj Prabhu, out of his great gentleness and respect for them, began to speak the great restraint as follows. Text 7. King Prudu spoke, my dear great sages, auspiciousness personified. It is very difficult for even the mystic yogis to see you. Indeed, you are very rarely seen. I don't know what kind of pious activity I performed for you to grace me by appearing before me without difficulty. Text 8. Any person upon whom the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are pleased can achieve anything which is very rare to obtain in this world as well as after death. Not only that, but one also receives the favor of the auspicious Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, who accompany the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Text 9. Prithu Maharaj continued, although you are traveling in all planetary system, people cannot know you, just as they cannot know the super soul. Although he is within everyone's hearts as the witness of everything, even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot understand the super soul. Text 10. A person who is not very rich and is attached to family life becomes highly glorified when saintly persons are present in his home. The master and servants who are engaged in offering the exalted visitors water, a sitting place and paraphernalia for receptions are glorified, and the home itself is also glorified. Text 11. On the contrary, even though full of all opulence and material prosperity, any householder's house where the devotees of the Lord are never allowed to come in. And where there is no water for washing their feet is to be considered a tree in which all venomous serpents live. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can stop here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Sri Krishna Prabhu, whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Sumran Prabhu. Thank you, Radha Pyari Mataji, for reading translation today. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Sikshashtamekam Purusha Puranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sariradari Krupamudittamaham Prapadye Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today we are seeing a new chapter. So in the previous chapter, where Maitreya Rishi started to elaborate again about Prithu Maharaj glories. So because Vidura wanted to hear more about the glories of Prithu Maharaj, how he ruled the kingdom. So he started describing where Prithu Maharaj was actually ruling the entire 7 islands, the 7 continents that we say, the 7 islands, and then how he started this great sacrifice, and he was receiving wonderful personalities from all over the universe. Demigods were also present. So, and then the previous chapter ended by Prithu Maharaj glorifying the citizens, giving instruction to citizens, and then the citizens also reciprocate and glorify Prithu Maharaj. And so it just ended with citizens' glorification. Now, in this chapter, chapter now 22nd, Prithu Maharaj is meeting with the 4 Kumaras. So the 4 Kumaras, Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara, they are all Brahmaji's direct sons. So they were since birth they become Naishtika Brahmacharis. So even though Brahmaji wanted them to marry and produce progeny for the population, but they decided to be Brahmacharis, and because they were attracted. They were extremely attracted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So therefore, they wanted to preach all over the universe. So for that purpose, they did not even get married. So, so in this chapter, Prithu Maharaj sacrifice is happening now. The 4 Kumaras appear on the Prithu Maharaj sacrifice arena, and then they were meeting with Prithu Maharaj. So here Maitreya Uvacha, Maitreya Rishi is continuing. So when the citizens were praying to the most powerful king, the Prithu Maharaj, at that particular point, so the 4 Kumaras appear, the Monayas, Tatropa, Tatropa Jag, Tatro Upajagmaha, Munaya Chatvaraha. So the 4 Surya Varchasaha. So they are as bright as Surya, sun. So they were very effulgent, very bright looking, and they were identified as the 4 Kumaras. So now after their appearance, they were called here Siddheshwaran Raja. So they are all like a masters of all mystic powers. So Krishna is a Yogeshwara. So Krishna is the master of all mystic powers. And So his devotees also, some of the devotees also, they are all mystic yogis. So here four Kumaras are one of them. So here they are mentioned as Siddheshwaran Raja and his. So when they descended from the sky, they could recognize them. So so now the some of the details Prabhupada gives in the purport, like because they were Siddhi yogis, they have this space traveling power. They don't need any aeroplanes like Vimana or anything. They themselves could fly on the air by their yogic power. So there are eight mystic perfections: Anima, Lagima, Prapti, like that. So in this situation, they can become lighter than the lightest and they can travel. So similarly, they have these siddhis. So here the four Kumaras had these special powers, and wherever they go, it seems that that place becomes sinless. That big place becomes very pure and sinless. And the four Kumaras in this case, they decided to see the king, and they appeared on this particular arena where the sacrifice was going on, and they met Prithu Maharaj. So, and then the third verse, now the Prithu Maharaj reciprocation of receiving four Kumaras, that is starting from the third verse. So now, after seeing the four Kumaras, Prithu Maharaj was greatly anxious. It was like a Sanskrit, um, composition here. It just compares Prithu Maharaj like a conditioned soul. This is very nicely elaborated by Prabhupada. So just like the conditioned soul is very much attracted by the three modes of nature, similarly, Prithu Maharaj was very much attracted to four Kumaras because he is such a perfected soul. He wanted to serve the devotees, Vaishnavas. So the appropriate comparison is very much like appropriate here. So Prithu Maharaj was so anxious to receive them that here he just got up so hastily, and then he was so anxious. So just like when Prabhupada used to come to temples, devotees also very much eager to serve Prabhupada. Sometimes they would get only like 12 hours notice that Prabhupada is coming, and they have to clean up the whole place and then beautify, decorate. The whole night they'll be without sleeping, the whole day and night they'll be decorating, arranging everything for Prabhupada's room and all. So such is the quality of wonderful devotees to receive special great Vaishnavas. So similarly, Prithu Maharaj was also very anxious. So Prabhupada quotes some verses how the Prakriti, the three modes of nature, is controlling the whole situation. So the Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. So every conditioned soul, we are being influenced by different modes of nature. And then as such, the conditioned soul's certain activity gets happened, and then he's forced to do certain activity. So under that influence, the whole material world working. So similarly, Prithu Maharaj is compared to such a conditioned soul. He is because he is anxious to receive the great devotees like Kumaras here. So this is like a Sanskrit. Sometimes in Sanskrit they use negative connotation to say something positive. So one of the verses that Rupa Goswami writes is also, he says, don't go to Yamuna river, and even if you go to Yamuna river, don't see that person who is standing there in a three-banded form along with Radharani. So he says, if you see, then you won't be able to enjoy this material world, and you won't be able to, be happy in the material world by enjoying the material senses, and like that, it gives a negative kind of uh, uh, connotation to say something positive. So those who see Lord Krishna and Radharani in the banks of Yamuna, so they will be completely attracted to transcendental qualities. So they will never, again, their attraction to the material world will be completely vanished. So similarly, in this verse also, the same thing is being said. Just like a conditioned soul attracted to the material world by three modes of nature, Prithu Maharaj is so anxious to receive these four Kumaras. So that is the comparison here. So, again, Prabhupada is elaborating that the conditioned soul is attracted by sense gratification. His senses like ears, eyes is wanted to see beautiful things, ears wanted to hear attractive music, the nose is attracted to enjoy the fragrant flowers, the tongue wants to taste some nice food. Similarly, all the senses are so attracted to the sense enjoyment. So Prithu Maharaj is also in the same way. He could not restrain himself from receiving four Kumaras who were so effulgent by the spiritual progress. He is also giving another analogy here. Birds of a same feather flock together. So, like he's saying, in this world, everyone gets attracted to the same kind of people category. Like a drunkard, he gets attracted to another drunkard. So, similarly, here, Prithu Maharaj being a very great saintly person, so he is getting attracted to this four Kumaras. So, three, four analogies that Prabhupada is giving to emphasize the same point again here. So on the verse number 4, after seeing them, and so the Vedic, according to the Vedic culture, how he's receiving them. So he is basically offering them a throne, a golden throne, and is bowing down, and he worshipped the four Kumaras. So this is the Vedic culture that as soon as a great personality arrives, the first thing you offer is the seat, appropriate seat for them to have a seat. And then you can worship them by washing their lotus feet and offering, appropriate a drink for them to, uh, quench their thirst. These are like basic etiquettes that the Vedic culture they follow. So similarly here also the four Kumaras, they are not ordinary personalities, they are also the source of the Sampradaya. Kumara Sampradaya, they are the origins. So we have four Sampradayas like Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya, and Rudra Sampradaya. So in these four Sampradaya, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead is disseminating his own Bhakti process, Kumara Sampradaya comes from these four Kumaras, and they are direct descendants of Lord Brahmaji. So the Prithu Maharaj was very respectful for these acharyas. It was said that very respectful, and he is receiving them. So Prabhupada also quoting another verse that Shakshat Haritvena Samasta Sastrair. So in the spiritual connotation that Lord Hari, uh, respect that we give to Lord Hari is the same kind of respect is given to Guru also, the Acharya also, because the Vedic scriptures says that he is a personal representative of the Lord and he is the same Tattva. Sakshat Haritvena. So that tattva, that potency is given to the acharya. So that is why the representative, the parampara acharya is respected exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So So here also the same respect is being offered. And Prithu Maharaj is very exemplary in this. So another verse here is mentioned as Prashrayanatha Kandaraha. So here it says that it's very humble by his very humility. Um, Anatha Kandaraha is bowing down his shoulder by his great humility. So this is another sign of a Vaishnava. He is very humble. Namrata is like very, very nimble and humble. So another verse number 5. So now the king he washed four Kumara's lotus feet, and then he sprinkled that water over his head and hair. So this is again Vedic culture that whenever great acharyas come, so during Prabhupada time and now also when the acharyas they go to temples, so the temples they receive the Vaishnava acharya guru, and then they offer him a seat and then they wash his lotus feet, and this is still being followed in mostly in Bharat Varsha like India and other places of ISKCON temples also. So here also the same thing happened, and they sprinkled that water on the head of Prithu Maharaj. So here it says that how to receive spiritually advanced personality. Prithu Maharaj is very exemplary. So Prabhupada also quotes here like how Prabhupada Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught by his own examples. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but he came to teach how to perform bhakti, right? So Krishna Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Sanga Pangastra Parshadam Yagnair Sankirtanai Prayer Yajanti Hi Sumedashaha. So he is Krishna himself, but then he comes in the golden complexion and to teach others how to perform bhakti as a nice devotee. So Apani Achari Prabhu Jivere Sikaya. So he's by his own exemplary example, he just taught everybody else. And so similarly, Prithu Maharaj is teaching all the citizens. He's the king, right? He's the king. He's a Raja Rishi. He is also teaching by example all the citizens how by being himself being an exemplary Vaishnava. So that is the what Prabhupada is saying about this particular act in how he's receiving a great Vaishnavas like four Kumaras. So now four Kumaras are mentioned as the elder brother, elder to Lord Shiva. So the reason here is the Rudras, they appear like after Lord Brahmaji, the four Kumaras appeared. The four Kumaras denied to, produce progeny, and they wanted to become brahmacharis. So Brahmaji become angry because he was trying to produce many progeny, son after son, to increase the population, and then he got little bit dejected. This is not happening, and then when he became angry, Lord Shiva appeared from his forehead. So that's why here it is said that four Kumaras appeared before, and then Lord Shiva, the Rudras, appeared later on. So that's why here it said elder, and and then they were seated on a golden throne. They appeared just like a blazing on the altar. So now Prithu Maharaj, with great eagerness and gentleness, he starts to speak. So in the verse number 7, Prithu Vacha. So now Prithu Maharaj is speaking of, after all the etiquettes and, receiving is completed. Now he's speaking that he is glorifying them by saying that Mangalam Mangalayanaha. So auspicious and so fortunate that people don't see you normally, because wherever you go is so auspicious, it becomes very auspicious. And I do not know what personally I have done get a darshanam of your auspiciousness, your personality, like your grace. So he's glorifying, he's keeping his humbly, he's saying, Prithu Maharaj is no piety. I don't know how you have appeared here. I do not know what kind of piety I have. So Prabhupada also quotes this verse from Bhagavad Gita that Esham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukto bhajante mam drudavrataha. So this verse directly says that anyone who is sinful, for him to attain bhakti and to engage themselves in the Lord service with great determination is possible only after all the sins are eradicated. Mean when completely one is completely pure, that time, because the Lord is like a sun, He is like a sun. So anyone who wants to approach the Lord will be purified. So it can be said both ways. Anyone who approaches the Lord is purified, and anyone who is able to approach the Lord completely is already purified. So both ways is appropriate. So here in this verse, it said that anyone who is approaching the Lord with full great determination, they are completely pure of all sins. So similarly, Prithu Maharaj is also such a personality who is very pure, and that is the reason the four Kumaras have approached Prithu Maharaj. So in the arena also, like when Prithu Maharaj performed the sacrifice, Lord Vishnu personally came, um, and he also predicted that the Kumaras would also come. So now in the verse number 8, he is glorifying the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas. So now Prithu Maharaj is glorifying the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, and he is saying the similar to Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Beyocha. So here it says that the Vaishnavas can fulfill all kinds of desires. They are like the Kalpa Vriksha trees. So the same meaning he is also glorifying here. There is nothing that cannot be achieved, which is very rare to obtain in this world, by the mercy of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. So when you please Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, those which are very rare to obtain can also be obtained. So that's what Prithu Maharaj is saying. And he is also saying that anyone who pleases Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, they receive the favor of Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, who always accompany Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. So here is glorifying, because four Kumaras are Vaishnavas, is glorifying the Vaishnavas, all of the Vaishnavas, including them. And Prabhupada in the purport, he is also mentioning how the Vaishnavas are so great that Lord can be achieved by pure bhakti. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. The Santa, that devotee, is so special that he could see the Lord all the time in his heart of the hearts. So Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. So the last 2-3 verses, in verse number 9, Prithu Maharaj continued. So he is basically saying, although four Kumaras are always traveling in the sky, they are not visible. They are not visible, and they are just like the super soul. Although Lord is within everyone's heart as a witness, even the super soul cannot be understood even by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, great personalities like Lord Brahma and Shiva. So indirectly, he's saying the four Kumaras cannot be seen, but ordinary people, by giving their audience, now Prithu Maharaj is very happy and grateful. So in the verse number 10, he is also glorifying that So he's saying that how the devotees' families, like any Vaishnava family, how they are so glorious if they receive a saintly person into their home and then offer them a sitting place and then wash their feet, and the home becomes so glorified, the home becomes so auspicious. So, in other words, he is glorifying these Vaishnavas who appeared here. His whole kingdom becomes very auspicious now. So that's what indirectly he is saying. On the contrary, on the last verse, verse number 11, he is saying, anyone who do not receive the Vaishnavas or devotees of the Lord into their home, and they don't offer water for washing their feet, and those kind of places are considered a tree which is where all the venomous serpents live, all the very dangerous poisonous snakes live. So it's a very very negative connotation, because in the Shastra also it is said that the grahasthas, where the householders live, always the great saintly people has to be invited, and they have to be offered great respects, and they can give instructions. By their instructions our life can be purified. So because of that importance, so here extremely negative connotation of it is just a tree, considered a tree where all the poisonous snakes live. So Prabhupada gives an excellent purport here. Tirtha Padaya. So here it says Tirtha Padaya. It indicates where devotees of Lord Vishnu or Vaishnavas. Um, so it's extremely special stress is given to Vaishnavas. Generally, the sannyasis in the renounced order of life, they take trouble to enlighten the householders. So there are many kinds of sannyasis: Ekadanda sannyasi, Tridandi sannyasi. So the Ekadandi sannyasis are generally favorable followers of Shankaracharyas, and also called Mayavadi sannyasis, where the Tridandi sannyasis are followers of Vaishnava acharyas or Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, these sampradayas. And they take extreme trouble to enlighten the householders. So when such sannyasis and such sadhus come, the householders are supposed to invite them and give them um, at least a minimum Vedic culture respects, to offer them seat and then wash their lotus feet, and then hear what they're supposed to say for our own welfare. So otherwise, nowadays Prabhupada says that people have a signboards, trespassers are not allowed, beware of dog. I know in the Western countries, it is very disrespectful, because these saintly persons sometimes they just walk in to give blessings. They could not even do in the Kali Yuga, because the house is completely blocked. So a lot of these communities are gated communities, so nobody can even come inside. So that is why here it said, in the Kali Yuga, the envious man is more dangerous than a snake, because a snake can be subdued by charming mantras. So here those family people are considered very envious, those who are not inviting Vaishnavas to their home. So that's why it is called poisonous snake, a tree full of poisonous snake. So this concludes today's verse number 11, the instructions of Prithu Maharaj on the appearance of four Kumaras. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vranda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sri Krishna Prabhuji. Wonderful class, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.